cada quien lo que le pone, le nace a la gente poner eso. En sí no es una cosa que te digan, se le pone esto, no, es lo que tú le quieras poner, una manzana, un dulce, marihuana, una veladora, unas flores, eso es de lo que le nace a uno, pero que le nazca de corazón poner las cosas.
All of us at some point in our life has probably had a pimple, so we all kind of know what it's like. You know, even though it's not like
that was Dr. Pimple Popper.
I try to remind my patients.
Yeah, I hear it. I was like, is that Sandra Lee? Is that my girl?
Is that her full name?
Yeah, bro. I'm deep. You know me. I'm deep into the pimple popping. She's
that was our
good.
first episode.
Yeah. That was our very first. Well, yeah.
Official.
So this is this is episode. What episode is this?
This is gonna be episode 8, right? Yeah, 8.
8. Yeah, it's my favorite number. So it's a Tiddlecast. We're recording late today because I started my new job, so it's kind of getting used to that. And then Lil Man's been sleeping kind of funky, going to bed later. So,
man, I had our levels way the fuck up, dude. So we might be coming in a little odd.
So we're doing it not in the bunker. Well, you're in the bunker. I'm in my bunker. But
I am in the bunker.
We're doing this via Skype.
Via Skype, like they used to say back in the day, via satellite.
Via satellite, man. Do you say via or via?
I would hear them say both, but I want to say I heard them say via more.
What do you say, though?
If I'm saying the whole phrase via satellite, I'll say via satellite.
So it depends on who you're around, right? If you're going to say it like proper, if you're going to say it like, yeah, you know, via fucking, yeah.
Like you're looking like in this suit that I have a picture of you up with.
I know, that was my wedding day, man. I saw that. I was like, oh shit, that's me on my wedding day.
I was like, damn,
the happiest day of my life.
This fucker cleans up nice, dude.
Hey, daddy got a haircut and everything. I was like fuck.
Holy shit, dude. This guy's going to break some fucking hearts when he slides that ring on.
So, man, what's been good, bro? We've not been talking as much this week. It's kind of been a busy week for us.
Yeah. Transitions and just different shit going on. How's the on-call coming? Have y'all put out any other episodes?
No, we gotta sit down and record probably one of these mornings when we're free. Yeah. I think we're probably gonna drop one hopefully by next week. That's the goal. But I want to try to do a series too, and maybe you and I could record an on-call one. I want to do like a kind of like a Christmas holiday theme series, just like watching movies.
I remember
like Christmas movies.
I remember you putting it out in the universe. I was like, okay, I guess that means I'm gonna have to come up with a Christmas graphic.
Yeah.
So
no. Just speaking of movies, did you get to watch any of the Videodrome?
Videodrome? No, because we're talking about on Vudu, right?
Yeah,
I think I was entering that
it's capital. The first
wrong. Well, don't say it right now. No,
I'm not gonna say my password. I'm just saying it's cap sensitive. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
It's cap sensitive.
My bad. I assumed.
No, you're good. I'm gonna put all my passwords out there, everybody.
You're like it's like QRT.
I saw a meme that says like the federal government knows all of your passwords, and it's like, oh, thank God somebody does. Like, I thought that was some funny one, dude.
You should call up the NSA and be like, hey, I forgot my password and I'm locked out of my 2FA. Can you hook me up?
Or like, hey, since y'all are recording all the time anyways, could you like send me some notes from this day at this time? Could you just send me the recording of that? Like, I bet you they have the best fucking the best audio in the world. The NSA just listening to us.
Yeah, dude. Fucking streaming 4K.
Bastards. So we had mentioned we were going to talk about the Clintons a little bit this week.
I did. I had an article up like last week before I shut it down. Now I'm gonna have to go ahead.
No, so it started like I looked up the list, just a wiki list.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't very long. And I was just like, oh, shit. And I once I read who
That's
the
right.
person
You looked it up on your own and you came across the wiki and there was like 3 to 10 names on there or something, right?
Yeah, I think it was less than 10. I think it was like, it was not impressive. I mean, it's crazy that, that there's even a list out there, which is a far right fucking conspiracy theory, I think. But,
yeah. What was the name of the organization, that the news organization of that article? Do you remember?
Let me look. It was
like some fringe
Clinton suicides. You can add 2 more names to that list. Suspicious deaths. So it's pretty much.
But what was the name of the news organization that had that article?
Clash Daily.
So it's like clashdaily.com or something.
Yeah, clashdaily.com. And then so I just went on Wiki and I was just like curious because I was thinking like, oh, Epstein's probably on there, right? And what's that other politician? The one they said, the Democrat. Anyways, Clinton body count. So that's what I looked
Clinton
up.
body count. Yeah.
Yeah. So the alleged victims, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 names on the list. So obviously Epstein's on there, Jeffrey Epstein. So convicted sex offender, being held on federal charges of child sex trafficking. So Epstein, we'll just talk about him for a sec. Did you watch any of the documentaries or like keep up with any of the true crime shit that was happening when he got busted?
I mean, I have the broad strokes, right? So like he basically got in trouble for like, I don't know, one thing led to another and we found out that he had these islands, right?
So there's like these, so I'll try to summarize it, but I probably won't because I'm at Delta. Woo! I think we can only say like Delta 6 whenever we're Skyping. Is Delta 6. I just made that up in my head.
Is that like an amalgamation of like Delta Forces and SEAL Team 6? Like,
yeah, bro.
Did you watch Platoon recently or something like that? Do you have Platoon on the brain or something?
That's a good fucking movie, man.
Yeah, dude.
So I got into the whole Epstein thing just watching documentaries. I watched the Hulu one and then I watched the Netflix one and then I watched this one that came out on like one of the true crime ID channel shows, one of those.
Yeah.
And so pretty much he was getting girls to like come. It would start off like girls would come and give him massages, whatever, and he would pay them, and they'd pretty much end up jerking him off, allegedly. So, but a lot of these girls are like 15, 16. I think the youngest one was 14. I think the youngest one was actually like 15. So he was like having these girls come to his house and, at first it was like a massage, but then eventually the massage turned into, him getting them to, handle his business.
Yeah.
But he was doing it and some girls would like, hey, you want to make like $100? Because he would give them some amount of money to do it and they would get friends to come and do it. So that's how it started. And then and there's like stories.
It seems like a cheap incentive, like when you're talking about that line of business. $100.
On his island though is a different story. That was like a fucking free for all, just of women but none of them. It wasn't like R. Kelly style, or they weren't like being like held at gunpoint and like stuck in cages. Because R. Kelly was keeping girls locked in their rooms. Like he would. It wasn't like that. It was just kind of like, hey, you want this money? Like this is what you have to do. It was crazy.
It's
dude.
Like there's an Adventure Time episode like that where he was like, man, we got so much treasure, all this treasure they accumulated, so they decided to spend it, right? And they fucking take it downtown and they're like making like little kids like stand on their head, and then like they made like 2 best friends who are male and female like kiss. Like, and they were like giving him money, like forcing him to kiss, and just doing like a bunch of like borderline like immoral shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like R. Kelly's like just like he's got all this fucking money right now, And so he's like, hey, fuck it, dude. Like, do this shit. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like, he's getting a kick out of it, like a godlike kick. That's fucking sick, dude, if you think about it.
It is, man. Like, I don't know, man.
It's funny, like, until you really kind of, like, process it. And then
you're like,
shit.
this is based on a real thing, and this is what really happened. It's like, it's kind of...
Yeah.
But anyways,
so this ties back into all this ties back into the Clinton list. How?
So it ties back into the Clinton list because they have flight logs that Clinton had gone to the island numerous times, and there's many pictures of them at parties together.
That's right.
And with Donald Trump. I think there's a picture with it's like Donald Trump and Epstein, and then that lady. She's like in the background. His lover that's pretty much, I think she's in jail right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like his cohort. It was like that was like his girlfriend, but she was also like, he was paying her and she was doing shit for him, like getting girls.
Oh, this is Ghislaine, right?
Yeah. Ghislaine.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah. Ghislaine.
So that,
I mean, it's almost tastes like I shouldn't even joke around because like that she's fucking she did a lot of fucked up shit. Like, I mean, I say it out of spite towards her, not in terms of making light of the situation.
Do you want to know why I think that Epstein did kill himself?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if he killed himself or not, but what he did, he knew he was gonna die. So this is what he did before he died. Before he was put in prison and all that. He did some legal shit with all of his money, everything, all of his estate. He put it to his brother's name, and they can't take it away from his brother because I can't remember exactly because this is probably like over a year ago when I saw this documentary. But he made it to where legally nobody can touch that money, any of his earnings, except for his brother. And all the victims, they're like suing for all this money. They're not going to get anything from him because all his money is his brother's, and he like gifted it to him.
That's insane, dude.
So to me, not only did he say, "I'm probably going to die," I don't know if he killed himself. I honestly.
Yeah, that's
don't
what I
think
was going to
somebody
ask
killed
you.
him.
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
think so?
I don't. No, I think he fucking killed himself. He's gonna go to prison for the rest of his life.
Well, I never realized that he had a motive to kill himself. That's motive.
Yeah,
right?
That's a motive. You're going from being a billionaire who can fuck and do whatever he wants. He's a fucking animal. He's living the life that he loves, but now he can't do it. And not only is he going to spend the rest of his life in prison, he's probably going to get the shit kicked out of him. Like, I was reading while he was on in prison, he was paying for everybody around him, all the prisoners, commissary, for protection because they were threatening him. Like, could you imagine that's going to be the rest of my life? I'm going to be in fear in prison the rest of my life. I'm going to make sure my brother has my money. I'm fucking kill myself. There's no reason to live.
Damn, dude.
You're going to be living in fear and in hate and ugh.
Damn. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, to me, that's motive to kill yourself. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Well,
nuts,
if he cared about his brother, yeah. But isn't it odd that somebody who can
it's all allegedly
be such a dirtbag scumfucker, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, can I say this with certainty? And I guess we can't say it with certainty, but somebody that would do that type of shit would be allowed to, or would even be capable, I mean, of love. You know what I mean? Like the idea that he loves his brother, but and he knows what, but I guess maybe some people might feel love without actually processing like the nature of that connection and how it ties us all to one another, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel that. That's true.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Epstein,
airy fucking ideas, but I mean,
but
yeah.
I mean,
anyway, so Epstein.
I'm just saying, like, and then another thing about the Clintons, I know. So one of the girls that they said, like, oh, well, Clinton was on the island and this and that, and one of the girls was like, no, like because one of the girls that she was trafficked to like a different country, like he sold her to some higher up in British politics. I don't know the name, but I know it was a political figure in Britain or England or some shit that he pretty much hooked her out to this guy. He took her to his house and all this stuff, and he was pretty much like prostituting her to like his rich buddies. But she said that she was, before she started jerking people off, she was an actual massage therapist. Like, she was one of the girls that I think he got her like right when she was starting college. So she was like right out of high school. So
one thing led to another, and
yeah, like it's kind of weird with her. She was like, she saw fucked up shit, but she was of age and she was technically not doing anything wrong. She was escorting, but she said that every time Bill Clinton was there, he was a gentleman. He was always just hanging out with everybody, having drinks, just hanging out. He wasn't a pervert. He wasn't one of the guys taking girls to the back. And she also said that he was like very sweet. Like, they would have conversations all the time, and that she would give him massages, but actual massages. Like, she said he never took his clothes off. She said he was like the biggest gentleman. And I'm like, wow, Bill Clinton, huh? Of course, none of the conservatives, none of the right-wing people believe that.
Now, was that before or after Monica, though?
Oh, after, bro. This is
then he would have motive to behave himself then, because he just went through that shit.
He doesn't have any motive. He has no motive. The fact that we're talking that there might be a Clinton death list means that Bill Clinton's a fucking animal. I wasn't old enough to vote for him, but I would have. I voted for his wife. But I mean, he did a lot. Our economy was doing really well when Clinton was president, man.
But honestly, bro, like, I think that the role that the president plays in the economy is limited. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't have a huge effect. The bills he signs into law and the executive orders affect the economy, but I don't know if it has like that big of an effect.
Yeah, it's
not 100%. Maybe like,
but it's about the time. But it's all about the time. Like, right now, it's not very good because because of the pandemic that shut shit down for everybody. Right. Like, this isn't a left or a right. This is if the economy's bad in Texas, because Texas is like always thriving. Texas always does, and we're not doing super bad. But the fact that it's kind of hard to find jobs right now,
right? Yeah, I didn't, and I don't want to say that it's related to left or right. It's just that it's like I was just thinking about the system in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the system in general is kind of like skewed towards looking at things in a one way or the other, black and white kind of a way. You know what I mean? And sometimes there's a spectrum, but when you stop and think, well, fuck, man, do I really want to like waste the fucking brain cells to think about this thing as a spectrum? You know what I mean? Like, so I get the motive there, but like, I don't know whether it's fucking 20% influence that the president has or 80% influence, but I'm just not saying it's probably not one or the other, regardless of whether it's a left or right president. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not a Trump person at all. Mm-hmm. I've never voted Republican in my life. Mm-hmm. Like, I just know, like, Trump did some good things. He did some good things, I guess, on paper, for middle class people. He also he paid out all his buddies. He made sure they were taken care of when it came to taxes.
But I think some of those were like fluff pieces that didn't cost him probably a lot politically, that he could get away with, and then he could advertise it so that his supporters, his poor white supporters in Appalachia, you know what I mean, have something to point to. You know what I mean? To say, no, look, he cares about us. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's everybody. Like, but you just hear his personality when he talks, if you can catch it, and he's a fucking sociopath. He,
not only is he a sociopath, he's old. That's true too. He's very old, and he's always been. This is somebody who's literally was born with the fucking golden fucking spoon in his mouth. Literally, he was born into money. Like, he's never been poor. He's never had to struggle. He's never even had to worry about what's in your bank account. that's not a regular person. You know what I mean? Like Bill Clinton, say what you will about the Clintons, they weren't born that way. Neither was Barack Obama. Like none of them were. Like the Bushes, they were born into money. Like it's crazy. Like I see people like Ellen and all these people
like it puts you out of touch, right?
Yeah, like I still think George W. Bush is the fucking Antichrist. And now, people forget about him.
But here's
like him and Ellen are buddies. You know what I mean? Like that shit pisses me off. Like, anyways.
I just think it's weird that we were like, what if everybody was just like smarter, right? What if everybody was smarter and they just didn't concern themselves with like small fries, like political shit that they had no influence on, right? And then chose to dedicate their time towards like productive things, right? That seems to me like it would move like the needle in the right direction. But we don't do that because that's not fun. You know what I mean? That's not blood in the streets, you know? That's not 24-hour news cycle. And I guess it sucks that we're so fixated on that kind of shit as a society, you know?
Like, man, I just don't like seeing like, this is we've probably talked more about politics in this episode than any of them.
Dude, I know.
Which is fine, but my thing now, like, I don't care. Like, I used to be very like, oh, if you're not a liberal, I need to change your mind. And I used to like, when I was younger, but dude, I think once you like settle down, like with the family and job and, you know, once you have kids and shit, I think everything to me everything changes. Like
that immovable vibe, that vibe that people have when they're just trying to convince you of what their school of thought is. Like it's a terrible vibe, dude. Like nobody wants to be around that. You know what I mean?
I
used to do it too.
Dude, I know you did. Yeah. Like I used to follow you back in the MySpace days, bro.
Oh,
like,
damn.
Yeah, like whenever you were posting a lot of whenever you were running for that seat or whatever you were doing. I remember I was just like, oh shit. And then I don't care. Like if you want to be a Republican, conservative, like that's cool. Like I told it on the On Call podcast, but I'll tell it on here. Like I had some run-in. I was doing skip cart before I started working, and I was delivering some food, and I was at a Whataburger, and I was confronted by 4 Proud Boys.
Damn, dude, you got your wish.
It was bad, like, because I was there waiting to pick up, you know,
because you mentioned that in the pilot, which is available, which is available only to our Patreon subscribers, by the way, which number 0. So you'd be the first one. So we definitely.
I'm gonna probably just be one of our.
Yeah, dude, I'll just to get the numbers up to 2.
Yeah. So long story short, what happened was I was waiting for my order, and these Proud Boys, whatever, they were like, they all had GoPros on their chests. They all had their phones. Like they were all filming. One of them was holding looked like an expensive camera, and they were filming everything with their GoPros on their chests as well. And I was just like, what the fuck? So I hear them drop like, you know, the K word for Jewish people. You know what I mean? They were saying, I started hearing stuff like that. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I need to get out of here. So I went up to the counter, and they were like, we're getting your order ready, sir. They're just, they're waiting on the fries. I was like, all right, cool, badass. So I start getting the napkins, and I'm getting the order ready. And I hear that shit being yelled out in the background. I'm trying to ignore it. I had a headphone in. I was kind of listening to music or a podcast. And then all of a sudden, one of these kids is holding his phone at me. And he's like probably like, you know, 12 inches away from me. I was just like, hey, man, because they weren't wearing masks. So I was like, hey, man, can you back up? Like, I was like, can you back up like 6 feet, 10 feet? And he was just like, you don't tell me what to do. Like he started calling me, he called me a spick. He called me, he said I need to go back to my country, that I'm an invader in his country. And we started getting into it, and the cops came in and they wanted to talk to me afterwards because I was yelling. Like it turned into a vocal thing. I started screaming at them, talking shit back to them.
In front of the cop?
Yeah.
Oh shit. No fucks given, bro.
Bro, nobody's gonna like I was very mad. I wasn't scared because these were like little fucking white boys, like lanky, skinny, like 5'5", 5'8" at the tallest. I was just like, dude, this is light work. Like, don't even. Obviously, if my
like
wife
the cop is gonna
son,
fucking sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna let him work it out. This is
yeah. But I mean, I wasn't gonna hit anybody because that's what they wanted. They were filming me. They want to spin it. So I was just like, back the fuck up. Like, you need to walk away from me. Like, fuck you. Like, step back. That was most.
Did they post it anywhere? I wish
I looked, bro. I looked. I could not find. I don't know how to search. But anyways, so long story short, they were the cops wanted to beat the shit out of them too. These cops were fucking cool. Like when they came in, they weren't like, "Hey guys, move along." They're like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, they were pissed, bro. So the cops.
Okay, all right. So you had good reason to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
So the cops, they talked to me. They were like, "Did you hit them? Did they hit you?" And I was just like, "No, nothing happened." And then he was just like, "Yeah, these fucking assholes. They're having a fucking they're trying to have like a anti-Semitic rally." So it was like Proud Boys,
right.
But they were hanging out in front of like a synagogue because that's like the Jewish part of town,
right?
And
of
I was
course,
just like. I was like, what the fuck? I was just like...
You told this story, I think, once before, but we got side-railed because you mentioned the synagogue early in the story. And,
yeah.
And then we started talking about something else having to do with Jews or actors.
But yeah, so, that, like, I don't care. If you want to hate people and all that shit, like, just keep it away from me. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
I just, it's funny to me.
Yeah, it doesn't do us any good. Like
no.
to engage in that because you're not gonna convince somebody else without like an enormous amount of work, and who has that kind of fucking time. Yeah.
And I don't wanna have arguments with anybody about anything. Like I hate arguing. Like it's a waste of time to me.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, so the hit list, that was the name that sprung out. And also
real quick to tie them together again with one more thread. I heard an anecdote. Now I don't know if this is true or not. This isn't allegedly, but that there was a poster of Bill Clinton like naked or something like that Epstein would keep in the foyer of one of his mansions on this island, and people would ask him like, "Aren't you guys friends? Like, why do you have that up there?" And he would tell people like, I have that up there because he's not gonna say shit about it. Like I have that when he's here. He's not gonna say shit about it because he knows what I can do, or something to that effect.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
That doesn't sound like a very nice friendship thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he again, like fucking Epstein was probably a sociopath. You know what I mean?
What does that say to you? That means to me that's a flag saying this house is for disgusting, unholy things.
Right.
That's what
this is where impunity lives.
This is like a fuck dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah, impunity, because that's what comes with impunity. He's bragging about it.
Motherfucker has his own island. That's insane.
Yeah. Fucking
like
I almost forgot that people that rich existed. You know what I mean? I was so up in arms about it when I was a socialist, and it's like it's so difficult to fucking meditate on and think. You know what I mean? It boggles the mind how rich some of these people are. So I mean, and oftentimes it's like, they're hiding it in the fucking Panama Papers or some other thing to that effect. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we lose track. We lose track of how rich they are. And I'm sure the richest people are hiding the most by percentage, per capita or whatever.
Do you think the young tech guys like Elon Musk, do you think that they have shit like that's going to come out when our kids are our age?
Fuck, man.
Think about it.
I hope not. You know what I mean? Because I really want to see, like, I know I sound gullible sometimes, but it's just because I think I live in the moment. I'm like, okay, let me try on this reality. You know what I mean? But with regard to whether they'll ever come out as being Epstein types, dude, I hope not, because I want to look at Elon. I'm biased to look at Elon as more of a fucking Buzz Aldrin character and not as much of a fucking Koch brothers type character.
Yeah, like with him, people are, they don't have much to like. There's a lot to say when it comes to him, but not being a complete piece of shit, like in the Epstein sense. He's a man who's very rich and who could change a lot of things in the world if he wanted to use his money for that. That's like the big issue that everybody has with all these guys, Jeff Bezos, all these guys, Bill Gates. That's their beef with them, is like, oh man, these guys, if they would share their wealth and make some change in the world, they would be better. It's like, well, how much more do you want them to do?
Well, socialists have come up with a solution for that, and that is to have a maximum wage, right? So, like come up with a number that would make a rational human being, the majority of people, feel comfortable, maybe even wealthy at times.
Excuse me.
Damn, dude, that sounded like a fucking scream, dude.
No, I just coughed.
It sounded like one of your fucking horror movies came off of the back of the wall.
My
or
bad,
whatever. No, what was I saying?
If everybody could get like the same wage.
Yeah, maximum wage, right? Like come up with some number that would make you feel wealthy every once in a while, right? And say that that's the most, whatever it is in today's economy, like $1 million a year or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe, 500, whatever, whatever the populace decides. I say hold a referendum, but you come up with that number, that's the maximum wage. If you earn more, or if your company earns more than is required to innovate, according to plan, then that money gets put back into the populace for programs, for, stipends like we've been receiving during the coronavirus. You know what I mean? Have that money flow back down. Have a system for that money to flow back down. But there's a lot of philosophical questions about that. Is that going to change the behavior of the working class? You know what I mean? Like it might, you know what I mean? If you're not compensating it with education, you know what I mean? So you might be able to control some of that, like by educating people. But then also it's like, how much education are they going to be able to handle? You know what I mean? A full course load is no fucking joke if you've ever had it,
That's true, man.
So
yeah, that's never going to happen. The rich aren't going to give up money like that. There's no way.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. You know what I mean? The rich won't voluntarily do it. But you know what? When they voluntarily do it, and there's a cycle, that happens throughout history, and it's called the revolution. You know what I mean? The poor people will eventually get so discontent that they'll revolt, and then the poor people or the rich people at some point have to say, okay, fine, we'll do this. Will that get you to settle down? And it won't be what they wanted, but it'll be just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it starts over.
Yeah. The whole money thing, man, that shit's...
Anyway, so we got any other people on the hit list that popped out to you? Because I don't remember if we said this, but the first list that you pulled up had like 12 people, and I had sent you the one with like 52 people on there. So this is the one you're looking at, right? The list with 52.
No, I'm looking at...
the main ones. Well, the Wikipedia article had the prominent ones, I guess.
But so the smaller list, it had all the people that I had on that one list, but on this one, I don't keep up with like James. So
there was a recent one. Did you hear about this?
Vince Foster, former White House counselor, the colleague of Hillary Clinton. See, that's the one that
this is the one that just happened, right? Like in June.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So pretty much this list is just a bunch of people that
the Clintons would have had a motive to stop.
Which to me,
but there's a lot there's a lot of people. You look at that long list. The uncomfortable thing is, they all died, many of them in suspicious ways, but they all had a motive. you know, in the eyes of they were all doing something that would have made the Clintons' life easier if they just went away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the trippy thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like spread conspiracy theory if it's not like, what I mean by conspiracy theory is not true. You know what I mean? Or not valid. You know what I mean? Or otherwise easily unprovable. Like, I don't want to like spread lies, in other words.
Yeah, no.
But it's interesting how many coincidences do you consider, you know, before it starts getting real.
Like, it to me, yes. There's definitely a lot of ties. I could see a motive why they would want this done, but man, they're like two old ass people. Like, I don't how many more years do you think they have on this earth? Like, less than 20.
Yeah. It's not
than 20.
I mean, people are just, I'm sure the people that are like suffering at their hand want them to die right away. But in terms of like, you know, the damage they've done, you know what I mean? It's 90%.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I know there's all those things saying that the Clintons, they took out some, what was it? It was some kind of like scholarship or some shit. It was some kind of charitable scholarship thing, and it turns out that they were taking the money out of it, like, so they were taking a bigger percentage out of it.
Yeah.
Instead of it all going towards, and there's a bunch of things like that, but that's all fucking politicians, man. Like,
yeah,
that's how they make their money.
You can make yourself go crazy thinking about it. You can, and it's like it's becoming less and less worth it, I think. You know.
Yeah. A lot, yeah. It was interesting at first, but then after a while, I was just like, all right, like,
it's gonna take something. It's gonna take some kind of revolution or some kind of, you know, sea change in the way we do things. You know, some fucking 2/3 Congress vote to reform the Constitution, some crazy shit, in order for things to either, you know, change or shit, at least not keep getting worse.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. To me, it's a far-fetched one.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. It's interesting to read about the just all the coincidences and all these people, you know, that were on their list, but I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, that's like the movies. That's like a fucking spy movie. It's like a Tom Clancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. If you could have it all written down, you know what I mean, and present it as fiction, it would make one hell of a story, dude.
That's how I look at a lot, because, you know, I was never a huge reader, but for some reason lately I've been reading because I've been trying to not get on social media as much. I've been trying to take a break from it. I check it like twice a day now, like a little bit after I've had my coffee, I'll check it out, and then before I go to sleep,
What's it called?
Just Instagram. I'm saying, like, I'm only checking it twice a day, when I pretty much in the morning, and then before I go to bed. I try not to get on it too much, but yeah. What the fuck was I talking about?
Well, yeah, I think you did. What, do you see a lot of political stuff on your IG feed?
Yeah, I do. I have. Yeah, I think it's because of the stories, you know, because people really don't post shit on their Instagram very often. It's all about stories now.
Yeah, for sure. No, dude, like, I think we are writing material. Like, with every day that we live and every news cycle that we're witness to, we're writing material that's gonna fucking be the fodder for the next Shakespeare, right? Because if you think about it, it's like we got like fucking Horatio type stories, and it's like, you know, Hamlet. It's like, you know, or something, you know, from that era, you know what I mean? But people will look back on us, I think, like that, you know, in 1,000 years. Yeah, kind of just see us just fucking trying to stab each other in the back. You know what I mean? Like,
it's wild.
I wonder if they'll be any better.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. It's crazy. Everyone's dying too, man. Everyone's dying.
Wait,
Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, what about him?
He shot those two people on set.
I thought you were gonna tell me Alec Baldwin died. I was like, what?
No, dude, that's a fucking tragedy, bro.
Damn,
that's
dude.
so sad. there's already the memes, man. The Alec Baldwin
dude,
memes. I'm like, fuck.
They
is
are
anything
harsh.
sacred, bro?
Yeah.
Nothing is sacred.
No more, dude. Yeah, there was this. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna fucking call out one of the Alec Baldwin memes because in one of the movies he comes out and he's wearing an Air Force like colonel's suit or something, right? And the ribbon, he's got a ribbon rack, right? And the ribbons are real Air Force ribbons, right? Because anybody in the Air Force who's gone through basic training and shot expert, which I have, gets this green ribbon with blue sides, right? And it's the marksman ribbon, right? So somebody went and took a still from that movie and circled his marksman ribbon.
Oh my god!
And so it was like a veteran meme about Alec Baldwin. It's like this guy. People are saying it was an accident. This was no accident. And then it pointed to the ribbon and circled it.
It's like, look at the stripes, baby.
Yeah. Pretty much, dude. But yeah, so that was a little veteran joke. But yeah, dude, all sorts of shit. People superimposing his face on the other guy, John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, where he's looking. He's looking into the backseat right before he's about to shoot the guy.
Yeah. Fuck. God. There's some funny ones, but it's like, dude, this is so fucking sad. But I mean, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, dude.
He didn't. You know, that's on the prop people or whoever. I was listening to Mark Maron's podcast and George Clooney was on it. So this makes me think of Brandon Lee. That's how he died.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Lee. He was shot
on set. Yeah.
And from what I recalled, because I was reading about it this week, I did want to bring this up. When Brandon Lee got shot, what happened was there was a bullet casing stuck in the gun. So whenever they went to fire off the blank or whatever during the scene, he actually got shot by the shell, and that's what killed him.
Yeah.
So the shell, it wasn't the actual bullet, but dude, I mean,
is that so? Have they figured this out yet? Is that what happened in the Alec Baldwin case? Are they still?
They're still investigating it. He killed He killed the director of photography. He killed her. It was the young lady, and then the director was shot. But apparently they had been so under budget, and they had like all these people that were on the film crew. They walked off the stage. They walked off these union people.
The union.
They didn't,
that's right.
So they brought in, I believe, from what I remember, is they brought in non-union people who weren't experienced.
Yeah, damn.
And it was over budget. Like they had barely any money to finish the movie, but it's like you can't cut corners like that. But anyways, George Clooney, I thought it was crazy. George Clooney was like really good friends with Brandon Lee. Like his brother was about to stand, or he was gonna stand in his brother's wedding or some shit like that. Like he said they would hang out like 3 times a week at the gym, and I was like, Brandon
I guess they
Lee,
would have been similar in age, right?
Yeah, because that's
I could see that friendship. I could see that they have like friendship energy, right? I'm comparing their two personalities from what I've seen, and I'm like,
Brandon Lee, he was a goofball. Like if you watch some of his interviews, there's not a lot of them out there. Like he was just a goofy dude. Like he was funny.
Yeah, it's almost like a goofy, but I'm a lightly like pick on you, very very lightly. With some goofy thrown in. Yeah, I could see them throwing that act at each other all day long. Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna lie. George Clooney, he's a fucking charming motherfucker, dude.
Yeah,
like
dude.
he's a very sweet guy. Like I've been a fan of his for a while, and yeah, it's because of his political views. Like that makes me like him even more because he's super duper like puts his money where his mouth is. He's not just one of the celebrities who's talking shit. He's actually putting money into it. Like he's helping do a lot of things to stop a lot of things, like making people lobby, pulling troops out of the war back in the day. Like he's been one of the dudes, man. It's crazy.
That's legit, man. Yeah. He's I don't know how to describe it or articulate it. I just know that George Clooney's got like some fucking crazy ass like chill energy,
Dog, he's 60 and they just barely had kids, him and his wife.
Holy shit. How old is his wife?
His wife's, I think, half his age. I think she's like in her.
Here I go to judging. Sorry. No, because I'm thinking it's like, damn, dude, does your nut really like, turn into an oak?
I think she's
At
not
60?
half his age. She's like
No, I mean, if she's half his age,
mid to late 40s. She's in her mid to late 40s. Not too. But they had kids. Maybe no, her 30s. My bad. She's in her early to mid 30s.
I wonder if it's IVF or something like that.
I don't know, but he's got twin kids. I'm like, dude, you're 16.
Or maybe they're just super healthy with good like fucking genetics, dude.
Hey man, he's part of Hollywood, so I'm sure he's getting that juice, that Illuminati juice. So
what if they're just like doctors?
No shit, right?
Yeah, don't they have like concierge doctors where it's like you could walk in there and it doesn't matter if the doctor's like, look, we don't need to give you a fucking x-ray, it's not broken, right? but you walk into one of those doctors and you're like, nah, fuck it, just take an x-ray because I said to take a fucking x-ray, and they'll just take an x-ray.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Why are you getting so rowdy right now? Take a fucking x-ray, man. Where's Cecil at, man? Where's C?
Dude, call him out right now, man.
Bro.
He doesn't listen to me anymore.
Hey, man.
Nah, he never did.
If you're
My bad,
listening
bro.
to this, C. If you're listening to this, C. We need you at the studio, man. I'm gonna try to go out next week. Sometime.
Yeah, dude. Get off your fucking... Get off yourself and come and fucking love on us, dude.
For real, man. Oh, shit.
Well, it's been about 46. You want to call this a short one and get out?
Yeah, man. I got to start getting ready for work, and I'm going to try to take a little power nap and then hit the hay for a minute and head into work. But yeah, man, I'm ready.
Right on, man. Well, you're on the same channel that my usual classical bullshit is on, so we're going to get out like this.
Awesome.
All right. Peace.
Peace.